Mute.
Okay.
All right, everybody. It is the NBA draft live once again here, and we're live streaming here on my YouTube platform, Ben Smith Sports Life. Hello, everybody. Ben Smith, and I'll be joining along with my friend Landon for this one of the coverage of the NBA draft 2025. Three great prospects, as we know right now, that might even go in the top three right now. Cooper Flagg being one of them, the Duke forward who had a phenomenal season at Duke, the number one player in the country in the class of 2024 after he reclassed. Dylan Harper, another freshman. He might even go second overall today, and along with that, Ace Bailey, another Rutgers player. So an ACC player and two Big Ten players could be the potential top three picks of the draft this year. And this is a moment where most NBA players dream about, and this is such a great moment in history to see their name to be called up on stage tonight. Hopefully, we'll see some of those All-American players who've traveled from overseas. And what's interesting about this draft is that it's the first time the first top 8 prospects went to college and didn't do G League Unite or went to travel to or is part of a French team or a Spanish team as well. So this is a really entertaining way that the NBA is really developing and getting some viewership as well, is that when you have more of the popularity from all the other countries like Canada, all the countries like in Europe, and some of the countries over there are really tuning into the NBA now because it's getting more popular eventually with the players and the players and the coaches, and the way that the NBA has set a big market over there is just it's been great that they're really promoting their league, because I know like maybe 10 years ago they weren't able to watch like anything overseas like in the NBA. I mean, they would watch some games, but like it wasn't that popular until now. The 2025 NBA draft is about to start right now. So Landon, you there? Landon?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, so the first thing here, I know we've watched a little bit of the NBA, not the NBA, but like college basketball during March Madness, and like one of the main, like the first pick of the draft goes to the Dallas Mavericks. We realized that the Dallas Mavericks, they went through a little bit of hell in the past 4 months or so. They traded away their star Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers. And in that trade, they got Anthony Davis. But tonight, if they want to regroup, they have to get Cooper Flagg. We're going to hold on for that question for a second. The commissioner's going up to the podium.
To the 2025 NBA draft. From big cities to small towns, basketball is played and followed everywhere. And during the finals, the very best basketball was played in the heartland of America. Yesterday, 500,000 people in a city of 700,000 turned out in Oklahoma City for the Thunder's championship parade. That was yet another amazing example of how sports can evoke enormous passion and bring people together. The Thunder were the second youngest championship team in NBA history. But what they lacked in experience, they more than made up for in unselfish play and a team-first mentality. 7 years ago, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the league's MVP, scoring champion, and finals MVP, walked across this stage as the 11th pick in the draft. He and his teammates spent countless hours in the gym watching film and pushing themselves to be the very best. Which of the players drafted tonight will be the next key piece of a championship team? With 7 different champions over the past 7 years, welcome to a new era of NBA basketball where every team has a shot. Which team will emerge as next season's champion? The competition begins tonight, so let's get started. The first pick in the 2025 NBA draft belongs to the Dallas Mavericks, who have 5 minutes to make their selection.
A lot of boos for the Dallas Mavericks. As let's look at a rewind from that. We previously talked about Luka Doncic getting traded on February 2nd of this year, actually. And it's been a whirlwind season for the Mavericks. And in order they want to come back, they're going to have to get a guy like Cooper Flagg right now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so I made a mock draft before this, and I had to put in a lot of thought about who would go first overall. Hours and hours of thinking, hours and hours. And then I made my decision. I think first overall is Cooper Flagg, but I'm not quite sure about that.
Well, Dallas finished 10th in the NBA in the Western Conference. They won the Western Conference last year under Luka Doncic and a super team. Now, when you have Anthony Davis taking over, you have to think about the future under the Dallas Mavericks. You don't know how long some of these players have left. I mean, yesterday Kyrie just declined his contract, but he's willing to re-sign another 3 years, 43, I think it was. Yeah. He declined. So you want to think of your future right now if you're Dallas. So that's why I think you go for a guy like, for example, Cooper Flagg. Because, I mean, if it isn't Cooper Flagg, then I feel bad for Dallas fans because, Dallas fans has been put through hell these past 4 months, chanting "Fire Nico Harrison," and I don't even know how they will react tonight and try to get. It's just a whirlwind just to think about it. And this is the first time, actually, in history between the WNBA and the NBA that both Dallas teams got the number 1 overall pick. So the pick is in right now, and the pick is submitted by the Mavericks. On the clock now, it's the San Antonio Spurs with the 2nd pick. The San Antonio Spurs didn't even had a top 3 pick. Had a top 3 pick in 3 years. They've only had it twice in 3 years. The first one was 2023 when they picked up Victor Wembanyama. This time around, they will try to see who will be the next piece of that puzzle. They had Stephon Castle, who had a phenomenal rookie year. Wasn't he rookie of the year this year, though? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he was.
He was rookie of the year this year. And a guy like Dylan Harper would really enhance that offense for San Antonio and bring them back to the older ages that they were before.
I think that's the right choice that they should make, picking Dylan Harper at 2.
And we got to understand, Dylan Harper is very fearless and he's very slippery, especially when he's in the paint. Don't be afraid when he catches the ball. If you're on defense and you're a 6'6" or 6'8" center, I'd be scared of him because that guy can fly like a bird. That guy will make centers catch bodies. Along with that, in this draft too, there are some good prospects too. A lot a lot of good prospects. Like, for example, we have the other Duke player, the center, who's going to be should be a top 10 pick in the draft this year, hopefully. And we're just waiting on this pick as the Dallas Mavericks. No. Yeah, I think they're making their selection right now. There's the whole fan base is packed around hoping that the New England kid would put his name on the sleeve. Here's the number 1 pick of the draft to the Dallas Mavericks. Had a great season with Duke, came up short in the Final Four. But we are currently waiting on the commissioner to hear his name get called here with the first pick of the 2025 NBA draft. Yeah, they're taking so long to submit this pick. I mean, we obviously know it's going to be Cooper Flagg. They already have the cameras all set up, so I assume it's going to be him. If it isn't, no, they're taking so long. They're taking forever. Just announce the pick now and get over with it. Taking their sweet time. Here we go.
With the first pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Dallas Mavericks select Cooper Flagg from Duke University.
Well, Cooper
There we
Flagg,
go.
the number 1 overall pick for the Dallas Mavericks. The kid from New England, reclassed last year. And we'll go to as the number 1 overall pick to the Dallas Mavericks. And like we said before, he had a phenomenal season over at Duke University. And the one thing is, he wanted to go to the draft, and he was the number 1 overall pick. He was the number 1 ranked prospect overall this season. There were speculations whether or not he would go back to Duke University for another year because he had so many NIL deals because of who he was, and he had his name on his sleeve, and the other name will be on the sleeve, and more of the jersey sales will be taken over Dallas, Texas now, as the Dallas Mavericks number 1 overall pick is Cooper Flagg. In the whirlwind of it all, folks, it all started with the trade of Luka Doncic and them receiving Anthony Davis. The future is now for the Dallas Mavericks, and this will be a good moment if they Landon, this would be a good pick. Not a good pick, but this would be good for them now to have come to be comfortable in the Western Conference next season.
Yeah.
And the way he is, he's a guy that can play many positions. He's played guard for Duke, and he's mostly known as a forward, but he's also the heart of the team. He puts the bodies on the line, so that's why this is another good player that they're going to add on to the roster who will really work along the team very well. I feel like when you have guys that pair with you like Anthony Davis, you got Klay Thompson still, and you still got Kyrie Irving, who's going to be there for another 3 years under this franchise. But still, they're still going to be growing along the way. They still got some youth on the team too, especially on the bench. But Cooper Flagg, adding him to the roster, is the next guy. He's the next guy up, and it's an excellent pick after losing Luka Doncic. So San Antonio, the pick is in here, and
I think it's Dylan Harper, honestly,
I think
and
it is.
that's another easy choice.
Yeah, I mean it's quite an easy choice too because you got to understand the San Antonio Spurs also are trying to look for a future here. They are, like I said, they had Stephon Castle. Like I said before, they had Stephon Castle win Rookie of the Year this year for the Spurs. They are, Victor Wembanyama was out for towards the end of the year. They had a solid record, but like that ending kind of blew them a little bit. Like out of towards towards the end of the season, like they lost a little bit of hope in themselves. So with San Antonio getting another guard, they already had Stephon Castle win Rookie of the Year. They'll have Wembanyama back next year too. So if you have Harper Castle, and Wembanyama will be the big three. The next big three for the Spurs next year. We all remember the old big three. It was Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, Aldridge, or not Aldridge, but Ginobili as well. Back in the days, like 10, 15 years ago. Well, the future hopefully is now a new head coach under the Spurs after Greg Popovich moves up to the front office instead of being a head coach this year. So this is like, I know he's been a president of the Spurs franchise, but like this is his really first pick as a non-head coach now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and they're already unveiling the jersey. And they already have you know what they do? They already have the jerseys on in Dallas. They're already partying.
Wow. The Dallas Mavericks fans, they've had like a roller coaster of a life for like the past 4 months, from trading Luka to having both Kyrie and AD getting injured to having to trading Quentin Grimes. I believe they traded Quentin Grimes, and then he showed off on the Sixers. He was averaging 15, 16 points per game for the Sixers, and he was doing really well with a team that didn't have a lot of stuff in their roster. So I think Quentin could be a good starter for the Sixers. But and now to getting first overall and drafting Cooper Flagg, that's got to be feeling fantastic.
All right, the pick is in here. Let's listen to Adam Silver.
With the second pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Dylan Harper from Rutgers University.
Yep, so it is Dylan Harper, the guard from
Another
Rutgers. A fantastic season over at Rutgers University as he goes number 2 overall to San Antonio. And the new big three, Wembanyama, Castle, and Harper. Just a fantastic year. An All-American, McDonald's All-American MVP. His son he's a son of 5-time NBA champion Ron Harper. I didn't even know that until now. But he's the highest rated Rutgers player of all time. What?
All right. So what do you think of who you think is getting picked at number 3 to Philadelphia?
I think it's going to be Ace Bailey.
I don't.
You don't?
Because if you remember from, I think it was the other day, the Shams posted that Ace Bailey didn't work out with Philadelphia, and people are saying that that's like a selfish move. So I think they could still draft Ace Bailey, but I'm thinking that VJ Edgecombe gets picked 3rd. It could be him, it could be Ace Bailey, or it could be Trey Johnson.
I wouldn't be shocked either. that's crazy that he did not work out with the 76ers. That kind of like puts an example on the line that he doesn't want to play with them. I mean, the 76ers too were a joke last year.
Mm-hmm.
They got Paul George in free agency. He ended up getting injured the first couple weeks of the season. He got injured the first couple weeks of this. He was out the first couple weeks of the season, and then Embiid gets hurt, and then Embiid gets out for the season. But like Embiid's the type of player that wouldn't play back to backs at all.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I don't know if they want to go down that road too, but
He could be getting at the point where if he misses enough games in the 2025-26 season and the season after, he could be forced to medically retire because of how many games he's missed.
well,
And thinking about that, young retiring at like 30, he's like 31, 30 right now.
yeah,
I'm not sure.
For crying out loud, there have been more seasons that Tom Brady has won the Super Bowl. There's more percentage of that than Joel Embiid winning, Joel Embiid playing games because he slacked. I think he's one of the most fakest MVPs I've ever seen. I'm not saying Shea. I'm not throwing it out there, but Shea too. There was some questions about him over this playoffs. I'm not saying he missed any games at all. But like, but yeah. So Ron Harper is the son of Dylan Harper. I didn't even know that until today. So so you say VJ Epcone for the 76ers?
Yeah, it could be him, or it could be Ace Bailey, or it could be Trey Johnson, one of the three. I think it's VJ Edgecombe only because of his ability to lead Baylor to the NCAA, getting to, I believe, top 32 or 16.
Yeah.
Trey Johnson was a great scorer for Texas. They didn't get. I don't even know how far they got in March Madness. I don't know.
I think they were like second round. I think. Hold on.
Yeah,
they didn't go that far.
Trey Johnson's been a better scorer, but I think they'll pick VJ Edgecombe because of his defensive ability and athleticism. But they could still go Ace Bailey here. I don't know how he will feel about that.
They didn't even make the March Madness. They lost to Tennessee. I think they were the first four out. So Philadelphia is still on the clock. Good, God knows if they're gonna trade here. I think they're still contemplating whether they pick Ace Bailey or VJ Edgecombe or Trey Johnson. I think Trey Johnson could be the better option out of those three. They're still not.
So today I went to an arcade and I won a Syracuse basketball. Syracuse University basketball. And I thought of this one player who's going to be at Syracuse next year. Oh.
Kiyan Anthony.
Kiyan Anthony, yeah.
I want to go to. Here's the thing: if I did better in school, I would have gone to Syracuse for my major. Oh, the pick is in. Hallelujah! It took you It took you a full 4.5 minutes to put a pick in. There, the cameras are both on VJ Edgecombe. So I wonder if it's him here going number 3 overall, or will it be Ace Bailey, another Rutgers guy coming off the board? I know we had, so regardless, it would be two. It would be two Big Ten players if either one gets drafted. Yeah, so the pick is in. We're just waiting here, but Charlotte is on the clock here. The Celtics too. Celtics had the 28th pick in the draft this year too. So I'm thinking they get either a center or a forward.
I just got the pick in. I just found out who the pick is.
All right, don't say
From
it.
Shams. You want to hear it?
No,
With the third
I'm
pick
listening
in the
right now.
2025
Oh.
NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select VJ Edgecombe.
Oh!
Yep.
So
I was right.
that was an elite move there that you just put out. VJ Edgecombe, number 3 overall to the Philadelphia 76ers, representing Jamaica. I think he's from Jamaica. That's why they have the Jamaican flags.
All right, now that the Hornets are on the clock,
Yeah.
I
Don't
think it's Ace Bailey going here, and I know they already have Brandon Miller, but with the roster they have now, I could see them going LaMelo Ball at the 1, Brandon Miller at the 2, and Ace Bailey at 3, or they could keep Brandon at the 3 and move Ace Bailey to the 4 because he is 6'10". He's got the height.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd move Brandon to the 2. I think. VJ Edgecombe, 15 points per game, 44% from the field, 5 rebounds a game, and 3.2 assists per game for the Baylor Bears. He's a good athlete and developing shooter with some intensity as well. I mean, Baylor too. Baylor won I think they won the March Madness, like the national championship, like 4 years ago, if I'm not wrong. But they were a solid team this year. I know Philadelphia is going to get a good athlete eventually down the road. It depends if they use him right. Because we've seen it from Joel Embiid, and the 76ers got to worry about what they want to do. Like, in order to win games, they got to win without Embiid. So, like, they want to prove themselves that they can win without Embiid. So that's one of the things that they're doing here. Charlotte is on the clock, and they need a perimeter scorer. So I'm saying I agree with you, Lynn, and I think they're going to go Ace Bailey here with the number 4 overall pick. Are you there, Landon?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So 3 out of the 4 picks might be So, any information on they probably hosted a workout with him, right? Landon?
One sec. Oh. Yeah.
They probably hosted a workout with him, right? Ace. Did they host a workout with Bailey?
I'm not sure if they did. They only mentioned that he was that he didn't work out with Philadelphia. They didn't mention if he worked out with Charlotte or not.
Well, here's the thing in that Philadelphia, they had that general. I think that is that GM still there. Uh,
Elton Brand, I think, is still their GM.
yeah, not Elton Brand, but there was
Oh,
another
the GM that like sent texts.
Daryl Morey. That was his name. Daryl Morey. He's still the president of basketball operations. Still. With
I
the-
am watching coverage on ESPN Radio.
you are.
Yeah, for the draft because apparently that's on.
Well, it's probably a rebroadcast of what is going down. It's what I'm watching on TV, but it's on radio. Charlotte again. 1963, 1963 record last year. The third worst record in the NBA last year. It doesn't help when your best player got injured last year if you're Charlotte. You know, LaMelo Ball was injured most of the season last year. So Charlotte went through a lot with their players as well, so it was kind of tough. So the pick is in for Charlotte right now. They already submitted their pick. Utah is officially on the clock here. Newpol is one guy that's still on the board with Malik. Jeremiah Fears, I want him to go in the top 10. I don't know if that might happen tonight. He's going to be a lottery pick, but like I think he's not going to be a top 10. I want him to be in the top 10, but they're taking so long. But like, do you think Utah might take a guard too, potentially?
I think they're taking Trey Johnson at 5.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if Charlotte picks a guard here. Metaphorically speaking, I wouldn't be shocked. It not a guard, but metaphorically speaking, I wouldn't be
1
shocked
second.
if they picked Trey Johnson. Oh, he's coming. Landon,
What?
what did you say?
I said 1 second. I'll be right back.
Oh.
NBA draft. The Charlotte Hornets select Khan Knippel.
Oh! Oh my! Charlotte just drafted
Why are you on the phone with Ben?
Con Knippel.
They drafted Con Knuppel?
Yep.
What? That's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. So, 2 Duke players and then 2 Big 12 players. So you gotta think Ace Bailey might go 5. Or you might even go to Washington. But I cannot believe. Well, Con Knipple too. He was an ACC tournament MVP because you realize that Cooper Flagg was injured throughout the ACC tournament, and he was the next guy up. 14.4 points per game, 48% from the field with 4 rebounds a game for Duke last season.
I think that's a very interesting pick,
That's
but I like it. I
that's
like that pick.
That's a steal. That is a steal.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all thought they were going down to Ace Bailey.
Ace Bailey's falling.
He's falling more than Shadur. I think it's just his workout. That's why a lot of teams are not going to pick him up.
I would say that falling one pick in the NFL. Oh wait, no, hang on. Falling one pick in the NBA draft is like falling 10 picks in the NFL draft.
Yeah, I mean, if you fall 10 picks in the NFL draft, well, you got to understand there's only 60 picks in the NBA draft. So there are like, I think 100 players that enlist every year. So there are like 100 players that enlist in the NBA draft each year. Only 60 of them get drafted, so that's like half of the players get drafted. That's like 120, I think, that enlisted for the draft. But otherwise, what do you call? The Utah Jazz are on the clock.
VJ Edgecombe is he's from the Bahamas, not Jamaica.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're just correcting. That's just me.
Yeah. I
don't think Ace Bailey would be the best choice. But I mean, if you think about it, I think the starting small forward for Utah is like Bryce Sensabaugh or something. Because Lauri Markkanen is a power forward that sometimes plays the 3.
Yeah. So, I mean, they really
I could see.
They do need a guard, but like for example, Lauri Markkanen fell off after like 2 years ago. He used to be such an elite shooter. Now he just fell off. Like he used to hit so many threes, he just doesn't hit his threes anymore.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like with a guy like Ace Bailey, they could probably get some of that offense back that they lost.
Oh, so you know what it is? This is mostly a Duke lineup for the Jazz. Not the Jazz, but
I think there's 3 Duke guys going in the first round. I don't know about the second round.
They have the worst record in the NBA. Markkanen had 19 points per game and led the team with that. First season with
That's ridiculous.
Since 2015, led the NBA by 17 turnovers a game, most by any team since 2014 and 15. I'm reading the stat lines right now. That's ridiculous.
I could see Ace Bailey going at 5. I could see Trey Johnson going at 5. A stretch pick for me would be at 5, especially Jeremiah Fierce. I mean, it would be nice to see him go there, but I have Jeremiah going at 6. But whoever Utah doesn't pick is probably who they should pick.
I think Jeremiah. I think if Utah takes Trey Johnson here, then I feel like Ace Bailey's going to go to Washington.
That's not even a bad choice. because Washington just extended Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So
That's going to create some problems because they're starting at like power forward. They're starting Alex Starr at center, but at power forward, I'm not sure.
I'm still wondering. I feel like the Nets might trade some picks tonight because they have 6 first-round picks. I also saw Trey Johnson's fit too. It was ridiculous. He's wearing a long sleeve shirt with a tie, like in a blazer, right? And he's also got like cut off like.
I just found out the pick, and I think
Don't
it's
say
in.
it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Pick is in, yeah.
Well,
Here we go. Let's see.
The pick is in. Here's Commissioner Silver. With the 5th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Utah Jazz select Darius Ace Bailey
Oh,
from Rutgers University.
so it is Ace Bailey going number 5 overall to the Utah Jazz.
Only falls 1 pick from where I had him in my mock draft, so not too far.
3 out of the 5 picks being Big 12 players. Not big, but Ace Bailey, 527 points last season, most by the team.
So now at 6, I feel like the Wizards should take either Trey Johnson or Jeremiah Fierce.
Yeah.
I feel like those are the only two.
He was on the Big Ten all-freshman team last year for the ACC. Led the season with 17.6 points per game, 46% from the field, 7.2 rebounds per game for Rutgers. He's a good, tough shot maker and explosive athlete too. Looking at his film right now, like he makes some great fadeaway shots, really clutch shots too.
By the way, I'm gonna have to leave probably a little after the lottery, so probably around pick 18 or so.
Yeah. Tomorrow's another day of the draft too. I forgot.
Second round.
They used to do it on a Thursday night, and they would be up till like 12 o'clock at night drafting picks. I'm glad that they moved it to Wednesday, and they're doing draft. Then they're doing the draft. Then they're holding the draft to tomorrow. Like they're holding, like they're pausing it, and then they're going back tomorrow. That's the way it should be. It shouldn't be like full 60 picks starting at 7 p.m.
They should do a full 60 starting at like 3 or 4.
If you're gonna go down that path, yes. After all these years, the NBA draft is just look. The first ever NBA draft I watched. Here's the thing: when the Celtics, I've been a Celtics fan for a little bit, for a long time. Like since I was 8 years old, I've watched the Celtics since I was 8. One of the players I wanted was Chris Dunn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chris Dunn went to Providence College. He's a very good athlete, and he would have gone. He was a lottery pick. So I thought the Celtics were going to draft him number 3 overall because they had the number 3 pick of the draft. Because they got in the trade, they had a good season that year, but since they traded No, Paul Pierce.
Kevin Garnett.
Paul George, but they traded Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett that year. They got 2 lottery picks, and those 2 lottery picks were Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I didn't want what I was mad that we got Jaylen Brown, and I regret saying that. I regret like I eat a bowl. I'm eating a bowl of crow now because I wish I've wanted Jaylen Brown this whole time. I'm not saying he's a clutch player, but he's a guy that's a very good teammate on the Celtics franchise. Your go-to guys if they want to win under Tatum is without Tatum is Derek White and Jaylen Brown. So unfortunately, I want to see what the Celtics pick tonight, though. And I want to see what the Celtics pick tonight and see what they do in free agency. Because free agency starts on July 6th, so that's 11 days from now.
Well,
Can I say this? I think I know what the pick is. Yep, pick is in. I know what this pick is. All right, so the pick is in here for the Washington Wizards. The number 6 overall pick of the draft. All eyes here are on Trey Johnson. Here's the pick.
In the 2025 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select Trey Johnson from the University of Texas.
So the guy from the University of Texas will go to the Washington Wizards with the number 6 overall pick of the NBA Draft. Along with that, Washington too has been through a lot of heartbreak as well for the past 3 seasons. I know Jordan Poole just got traded the other day in the trade with Kelly Olynyk as well. But Trey Johnson wears number 20 to honor his father, Richard Johnson Jr. was his father. And he was the SEC Freshman of the Year. First Texas SEC freshman to receive that award. 19.9 points a game, 40% from three, and 3.1 rebounds per game this last season for Texas. He's an elite shooter, is what he's known for. He can catch and shoot. Landon, you there? You can play off screen.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
I think that was a good choice picking Trey Johnson.
Yeah, so the number 7 overall pick here. I think it's Jeremiah Fears. Do you think that they might go down that path too? Because they do need a forward too, but like I would say they need more of a guard than a forward. Trey Johnson becomes one of the highest players chose from Texas. KD and Aldridge were the highest from that. Were second overall pick. Aldridge 2006. In 2007 it was KD. 2011 was Tristan Thompson, 4th overall. LaSalle Thompson, 5th overall. Trey Johnson, 6th overall. And Mo Bamba, 6th overall in 2018. An excellent player on the floor. Joining the Washington Wizards here. We're going to be here for the lottery only, and then we're going to switch to our own ends.
I like Jeremiah Fears as a prospect because he's a great scoring guard for Oklahoma. A lot of people didn't think he'd go this high in the draft, but I like that he's going to be a mid-lottery pick, like top half of the lottery.
All right, Pelicans pick is in here with the 7th overall pick of the draft. Guess what?
What?
It is Jeremiah Fears.
Oh, yeah. That's an easy pick.
Per Jeff Goodman on Twitter.
My screen's like completely frozen. I don't know what's happening. It's moving at like 2 frames per second.
No, for the live stream.
My whole computer.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Actually, I think it might be the live stream.
That's why I'm only doing it.
It is my computer. I can't even click the mute button.
Brooklyn is next with Toronto on deck. After Brooklyn.
Is this working now? Come on, man.
All right, pick is in. We're gonna hear the pick.
With the 7th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Jeremiah Fears from the University of Oklahoma.
The guard from the University of Oklahoma. Great flashy suit right there.
It's so.
Gold with the USA team.
My computer's cooked, bro. Is the live stream moving this slow?
His brother just started over at University of Oklahoma. Great flashy suit right there. Oh my gosh. I can hear myself on the feedback. Gold with the USA team.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. I'm back. I think.
Right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. I'm kind of back. It's just that, like, my screen, it's like 90% fixed. Like, I can see myself, but it doesn't show that I'm talking. That's it.
Yeah. So Jeremiah Fears, 17.1 points per game, 43% from the fields, and assists. He only had 4.1 assists per game this last season with Oklahoma. A pretty nifty point guard, a scoring guard as well, also a playmaker in the paint as well. Isn't afraid. He's also very slippery too. That's what he's known for, moving around like that. Wow. Very nifty guard. Here's the thing. I watched a lot of college basketball this season, and one of the players, it was a Providence, Oklahoma game, and Jeremiah Fears balled off that game. I think he was like the leading scorer. It was Providence. Providence is a Division I school, but it's not like popular than you think it is. Yes, it's had some good athletes, but it's we're like a top 5 school in our conference. Because when you look at our conference, we have UConn, we have St. John's, we have Marquette, we have Creighton, and then it's us. I think we've gained more popularity throughout the tournament. Like 3 years ago, when we were in the tournament, we were in the Sweet 16. We haven't made it further than the Sweet 16 since 2000, since actually 1980s. 86, I think, was the last time they made it to the Final Four. Fortunately, I like to suffer from pain between them. So Brooklyn has this.
No.
Who do you think they go for here?
For the Nets?
Yeah. Who did you have?
I was thinking Kaman Maluak.
The center?
Yeah, the center.
From Duke.
I mean, they could choose him. They could also choose Kasparis Giacuccionis. They could choose Noah Isang. But I think that's really the only few options they have here.
Brooklyn needs some depth too, and a playmaker as well in the trenches. How about Igor Demon?
I have him going 12th to the Bulls.
Igor Demon.
Yeah.
Brooklyn is another team that's winding down on the time here. Number 8 overall pick of the draft, 26-56, 12th in the East. They have 6. They actually have 4 first-round picks.
Yeah, they have 8th, they have 19th, 22nd, 26th, and 27th. They have 5 picks.
That's what I meant. I think they traded. God, I was at the beach today. I'm so white. I'm a little. After I'm done with the stream, just crash. Did I tell you this though? Because I was at the dorms at Bean. It was just so hot. Oh, pick is in. What do they got here? Landon.
Yeah.
Igor Demon.
Wow.
Number 8.
That's crazy.
So
I got news here.
What?
The Bulls are looking to trade Lonzo Ball or Kobe White. NBA Central, not Centel.
what pick do they have? They have a lottery, right?
Yeah, Bulls have 12th overall.
Yeah. So they could trade. You know what they should do? They should trade. They could also go for, stupidly enough, trade with Brooklyn and get Igor Demon. That's what they're gonna pick next here on the NBA draft.
There's also been talks of Andrew Wiggins going to the Lakers.
Colin Murray Boyles too, still on the board. He's
an undersized power forward, so I don't know how many teams will sit with that.
Oh yeah.
But I have him going 13th to the Hawks.
Unfortunately, power forwards, you have to be like 6'6", 6'7". 6'6", 6'7", 6'9". Not 6'9", 6'8". All right, here's the pick.
With the 8th pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Brooklyn Nets select Yegor Demon from Moscow and Brigham Young University.
Yegor Demon, 8th overall. I'm actually shocked at that pick. That he would be a top 10 pick of this draft.
I didn't think he would.
Born in Moscow, Russia, signed a 6-year contract with Real Madrid at the age of 15 years old. Ended up putting 16 pounds while at BNYU. Just to really boost his height. So now he's a member of the Brooklyn Nets. So he doesn't really have to travel that far after this draft. He can literally just buy an apartment down the street from Barclays. This is his home court right here. 10 points per game last season, 41% from the field, and averaged 5.5 assists per game. See, when I'm out at the sun, I'm legit tired after a long day. But like, this is a surprising draft that we. This has just been a shots fired type draft so far. It's like a lot of things have happened. So Toronto is now on the clock. Toronto 2. Who do you think they get here with this pick?
I was thinking Kasparis, Jakuchonis, but they could take Kamal Malawak here.
I think they play Kamal Maki. Kasparis, Yakuchonis.
Yeah, one or the other.
Raptors finished 11th in the East with a 30-52 record. And somehow they managed to be in the top 10 of this draft. They need a rim protector and some availability as well. So Jaeger Demon, he goes number 8 overall to the Brooklyn Nets. Toronto has 2 picks in the draft, the 9th pick and the 39th pick. So the first round they have the 9th pick, the second round they have the 9th pick as well. So I think there's like one forfeited pick in this draft.
Yeah, it was the Knicks pick.
Yeah, what? How did they do? Well,
they got caught tampering when trying to sign Jalen Brunson in 2022. Because he would only work out and he would only go to New York. So what they did was they like took away the 2025 second round pick.
Good enough. Knicks are gonna. I think the Knicks are overrated, though. That's my. Mm-hmm. I know they still kick their ass, but I think they're overrated as a team. I just think they have. I think because you saw them get bounced in 6 games. We got bounced in 6 games, but it wasn't as embarrassing as how they played throughout the Eastern Conference Finals. We lost and we choked games, yes, but we didn't lose we didn't lose by more than 20 points in some of those games. They lost by more than 20 points in nearly every loss, I think. I think there was one win that was like that. I'm sorry. I'm tired today. So I'm trying to keep fighting and keep my eyes open. Toronto is still on the clock and they're under 30 seconds left here in the NBA draft. Come on, Moloch. He's still waiting for his name. Oh, Landon.
What?
Colin Murray Boyles.
Colin Murray? What? That's ridiculous.
Gotta be a joke. If I'm a Raptors fan, I'm livid right now.
Yeah, that's not. I don't think that's the right choice.
An undersized power forward.
They already have Scotty Barnes. They don't need another power forward guy. They have Scotty Barnes and they have RJ Barrett. If they want to move him to the 3, they have RJ Barrett there already. They have Brandon Ingram too.
Yeah. So what else do they need at the forward position? Like that's so ridiculous. I can't believe that they just did that.
Okay, at 10, I think the Suns should take a guy like Kamar Malawak because of how far he's fallen right now.
Oh, they traded. I forgot. Oh, it's a Suns pick because it was a part of that trade.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the pick is in. Let's see.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Toronto Raptors select Colin Murray Boyles from the University of South Carolina.
You saw a lot of picks like that, but there's nothing kind of that wrong to think about. Columbia, South Carolina player was trained with former SEC women's basketball coach. Chloe Kitts is his girlfriend, and she's on South Carolina's team, the women's team.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
You good? $16.8 points per game, 59% from the field, 8.3 rebounds per game, and 1.3 blocks per game. So he's a versatile defender, efficient scorer, rebounder, and defensive versatility. I mean, he's an undersized forward.
I'm gonna leave after the 11th pick.
All right.
I have to go.
So this was part of the Kevin Durant trade. Final. So here's the thing: nothing's been finalized because of this trade. So because
I think the Suns should go for a guy like Kamar Malawak or Noah is saying, and they should really
Noah.
Noah Esseng.
I was like, what is Noah? What is Noah about basketball?
Why is Noah in the draft? The 10th pick. They saw the
Rockets 52-30 record last season, but this is part of the Kevin Durant trade. So that both sides, I know they're going to want to speak it over and see what they want to get, and if Houston's got to pick, like, they're gonna have to pick a guy like that guy from Duke. I can't pronounce his name right.
Come on, Maluwak.
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 All right, Maluwak.
Yeah,
All right,
there we go.
Maluwak. Brooklyn Nets, number 10. Not a Brooklyn Nets. I'm tired, dude. Number 10 pick. Thank God you're leaving after this pick because I'm done after this pick. After Portland. Guarantee we're gonna end. There's gonna be a trade.
My fault.
Come on, Maluwak.
Mhm.
All right, pick is in for the Rockets. See what they get here. Yep, it is. Come on.
Oh, my screen just turned black. It's back now.
Did you hear what I said?
No.
It's come on, Maluwak.
Oh. Yeah, good pick.
Yeah, because I think they talk it over when they have a proposed trade like that. What's weird is that because nothing can go through. There's nothing that can go. The NBA season is over, yes, but nothing can go through until July 6th.
Oh, we have a trade.
Really? Oh, Charlotte.
The Charlotte Hornets trade Mark Williams to the Phoenix Suns for the number 29 pick and a 2029 first round pick.
Oh, shit. So there are two picks that I thought it was Portland, but Shams just reported that the Charlotte Hornets are trading Mark Williams to the Phoenix Suns. 29 pick tonight and a 2029 first round pick. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that fake trade that they made for him? That he was going to
Yeah.
to the Lakers. I think that was one of the trades. Hold on, let's hear.
With the 10th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Houston Rockets select Kaman Malawach from Rumbek, South Sudan, the NBA Academy Africa in Senegal, and Duke University. NBA Draft, the Houston Rockets
So
select
it is
Kaman Malawach.
Kaman Malawach with the number 10 overall pick. Although, so Mark Williams did have that draft, that scare that he got traded with Austin Reeves. I think it was, wasn't it?
Dalton Connect.
Dalton Connect. That's right. All of a sudden he's healthy, but wasn't for the Lakers, one comment goes.
Yeah.
One comment was like, "Oh shit, Lakers come outside."
Lakers still need a center, though.
Yeah, they do need a center, of course.
Do you think they will trade Kaman Malawak to the Lakers? Is that possible?
I don't think so. I don't think the 2029 first rounder is unfavorable between Cleveland, Minnesota, and Charlotte. Utah, Minnesota. 1 out of 5 unprotected sources say size was a problem for the Suns last season, and they just addressed it in a big way with Williams and Kaman Malawak. Hornets get 2 first rounders. So all the trades won't get finalized until July 6th because that's the start of free agency. So once the start of free agency starts is when like the whole trades get finalized 100% through. Free agency is going to be crazy this year.
Mm-hmm.
Here are the free agents.
I know Al Horford's a free agent.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's going to retire, or if he can play one more year at a different school. LeBron's a free agent because he has that opt-out thing.
Is LeBron going to retire? That's the question.
I think he's going to retire. He wanted to play 1 year with his son, and he's going to retire. James Harden's also a free agent. Julius Randle, Brook Lopez, Clint Capella, Brogdon.
I think Brook Lopez is going to retire probably, or he might have a year left or two.
He's 37 years old, so I mean, yeah, old age.
What about Kyle Lowry? I know Chris Paul's coming back for another year.
Kyle Lowry? No, that's Rozier. It was Rozier.
I think Chris Paul's going to be back for another year, and so is Russell Westbrook.
Al Horford is 39 years old, so I feel like he might retire after this year. Bro, Chris Paul is 40 years old.
He's going to play till he's 41. That's crazy.
Who, Chris Paul?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And he's going to play his 21st season, I think.
This is
his 20th or 21st season.
Yeah, and he's 40 years old. That's crazy. I didn't even know he was 40 years old.
He's getting up to like Vince Carter numbers.
Yeah, I remember Vince Carter when his last season. I think his last season was with Atlanta, right? Can you mind fact checking for me?
Yeah, Vince Carter. I can tell you, these are all the teams he's been on. He's played games for the Raptors, obviously, the Nets, Magic,
I knew the Nets,
the Suns, the Mavericks, the Grizzlies, the Kings, and Atlanta. He played in Atlanta until he was 43.
Atlanta.
He retired at 43.
That was his last stop, right?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Trade. So the pick is in for 11th, but there's a trade.
Cedric Coward.
I had him going 29th. I had Cedric Coward going completely out of the lottery.
So they picked him, and then they traded him to the Grizzlies. A lot of the
Let me talk about this guy, Kevin Willis. He is a one-time All-Star in the 91-92 season. He was 11th in MVP voting in 93-94. He was drafted in 1984. He retired in 2007 at 44.
Is he the oldest?
No. Some guy played till he was 40. Like, he played like 6 games at. Some guy played 6 games at 46 years old. I don't remember what it was. But Bob Cousy came back at 44 for the
LeBron or
Kings.
I think Vince Carter was like the oldest person I've seen. How about Udonis Haslam?
He was like 41.
He was like, I think he was 43 when he retired.
I don't know though.
Yeah.
But this guy Kevin Willis played for the Hawks, the Heat, the Warriors,
hold
the
on.
Rockets.
Here's a pick.
Oh,
We have a trade to announce. As part of a deal to be finalized later, the Houston Rockets are trading to the Phoenix Suns the draft rights to Kaman Malawach, the 10th pick. And now, with the 11th pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Portland Trailblazers select Cedric Coward from Washington State University.
So Cedric Howard with the number 11 pick. Although he gets drafted by Portland, he will become a Memphis Grizzly once it's all said and done. Once the trade's all set and final. You want to finish it off here, Landon?
yeah. I'll talk about some of my choice, some of the people I think go wherever. First off, I think the Spurs' next draft choice is going to be Liam McNeely at 14. I feel like Derek Queen is going to go to the Thunder. Jace Richardson to the Nets at 19, son of Jason Richardson. Nolan Trayor to the Thunder at 24. Walter Clayton Jr. to the Nets at 27. And Ryan Kalkbrenner to the Celtics at 28, 7-1 center out of Creighton. And then I think the Clippers at 30th will take Noah Penda from France.
I want Ryan Kalkbrenner. I'm a Big East fan who is back-to-back Big East Player of the Year. I think he's very versatile and he's very tall. That's what makes his talent a tall center, and especially after losing Porzingis, he's very well from the field. I think, in my opinion, but he's more of a defensive guy.
I feel like if we don't pick up a center in free agency, that's like good enough.
One of the front office guys has to go if that's the case.
Yeah. So the Grizzlies are trading the 16th overall pick, 2028 first-round pick from Orlando, and 2 second-round picks for Cedric Coward. And that's it for me. I'm going to go.
Yeah, I'm going to hang it up too. All right, folks. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you guys soon.
All right.